Yes. So now, as I've already shared my file over here, we were at question number 8, in which we were doing which days of the week are the busiest. So in this, we have to basically find out that we already know in our data that we have the date of the calls, but we don't have the days of the week. So for this, we have to add one more column, which is the days of the week. So now this particular column will be added. We can just put this column name as the date of week. So now we have to find out the days of the week, which is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in that form. So for that, we have to select the formula in order to find out that what are the days of the week. We will just put the formula and this will give you the days. So 1st January 23 was Sunday, 3rd January 23 is Tuesday, and 4th January 23 is Wednesday. So in order to find out that which days of the week are the busiest, we are going to go, first of all, we are going to select this data, go to the pivot table, and then we will already select it in the new worksheet and do OK. And then, since we're talking about the days of the week, we make sure that we have to refresh our data because we want that the field should be updated as we have added a new column. So now we can see over there that a new field called days of the week will be added to this data. So we just have to click on this and it will appear in the rows column. And now we have to see that according to this, that which is why it is the busiest. So we have to see depending upon the duration of the calls. So as you can see, the duration of the calls, and but this result does not give you an exact analysis. So you just select on any cell and then you go to conditional formatting. In the conditional formatting, select on the data bars. And once you select on the data bars, just click on this and select all cells. So you can see over there that it is the Saturday, or if you want, you can do some other like color scale also in order to give you a different color scales. So here you can see that we'll just do a better color scales over here, right? So you can see which color scale is going to give you much perfect results. So, so based on this, there are so many options that are available. And you can see that if you're going to select the color scales or a data bar, anything can give you more good results and you can make the analysis that which day is having actually the busiest. So based upon this, we can understand that Saturday is the busiest of all, right? It is, we are having the maximum number of calls on the Saturday. So this is the result for your answer 8, that which days of the week is the busiest. Next, we have, is there a link between a call duration and the satisfaction rating? So since in our data set, there is satisfaction rating is given in your decimal and call duration is given in form of duration. So for this, again, we are going to create one more column, which will be the duration column. And there we have to make the duration in groups. So we can make the duration group, which is less than 30, between less than 30 minutes, or like between 30 to 60 minutes, or like 1 to 2 hours. So for this, again, we have to add a formula in order to find out that what is the duration. So if you can see over here that we have used the formula that if duration is less than 10, it is under 10 minutes. And if the duration is less than equal to 30, it is under 30 minutes. And if the duration is less than equal to 60, it is under 60 minutes. So if you can see over here that using the round formula. So this will give you the satisfaction rating round off to 0. So if it is 4.9, it will take to 5. So again, what we will do is that we can just copy this data, right? The pivot table over here and just paste it over here. So we don't have to select the data again and again. We make sure that we have to refresh our data, because if we don't refresh it, what will happen is the new fields will not appear. So uncheck all the old fields that we have selected. And we are only interested now is in the duration, which is the in like 1 to 2 or 10 to 30 or less than 10 or 30 to 60 and more than 2, and in this satisfaction rating. So that means what is the satisfaction that we have, and depending upon the time that we are getting. So for this we can also find out that what is the satisfaction rating, and based on this what we have to do is that we have to convert it into a we have to format the cells, right? So what we can do is that we can select the entire thing and just we can do it to one decimal. So this is how the satisfaction rating is coming. So if we want, we can also just select to this, and we can also do it to a field in case if we want the result to be more accurate. Otherwise the result is going to appear exactly the same. So now what we can do is we can just right click on it, and if we want we can sort the data from the largest to smallest. So we can say the most of the satisfaction rating take place between 10 to 30 minutes. If you want to make a graph of this, we can just select this and we can just insert a scattered plot to show that whether there is a relationship between this and the further. So there is a graph that we can create for this, right? A scattered graph can be created for this. Should we hire people in any specific month? So in case if we want to know that we need to hire people for the specific month, so what we have to do is that we have to take the again we have to take the data set, right, for a specific month, and we have to take the representatives, right? So the representatives are taken and we have to see that how much work the representatives are having, right? So based upon this, again, we are going to select this data and going to do a control V. So then we can unselect the data that is not required, and we will take the representative data over here, and we will take the date of the calls of the duration of the calls for the representative. So you can see the sum of the duration of the call for the representative, which is a lot. So if we want, we can just do it according to the average. So what is the average sum of the call of the representative? So we can find that representative 4 is having the most number of calls. So we can also look for we can also select the date of the calls as well in order to find out that what is the days of the call the representatives are doing. So based upon this, we can find the date of the calls for the representative, and we can identify that which day the representative is most busy, right? So what we can do is we can just take the representative and add a slicer over here, and we can see that RO1 representative is basically having the most number. So in case we just want to see the data in a more accurate way, we will just go and select the conditional formatting in order to select it more better. So then we have to apply it to all the cells. So we can see that RO01 is most busiest in February, right? So we can make sure that February and July, right? So we can make sure that we can have some kind of help in these 2 months. When for R04, we can see that he's most busiest in November, right? So in that case, we can just take a help from this slicer and we can see that which is the month they are the most busiest in. So we have done all the queries that have been written over here, the analysis of all the queries by using the pivot tables and pivot chart. So let us do a revision of this, that how many calls we are getting by the customer. So in this, we had the customer ID, call number, right? So customer ID was taken in the rows column and call number was taken in the values column. We could count the number of calls. The second query say that how satisfied are our customer. So for this, we have taken the satisfies rating, which was put into again a values column, and we have done the average of the satisfies rating, right? The next was the top 10 customer. So for the top 10 customer, we have just taken the customer in our row ID and the sum of the purchase amount in your values column. We have just converted into dollars, right? By clicking into the currency and doing zero decimal. And then we just right click on this and using the filter option, we found out the top 10 among all the customers that we have. We just created a column chart, and then in the further query where we have to write the top 10 customer for a specific representative, we have already right click on the representative and add a slicer over here. So we were able to see that what are the top 10 customer for the particular representative. Then for the call duration analysis, we basically group the call duration into the buckets or into the groups. How busy our call center was in 2023. So we have selected 2023. And for this, we have actually created that what are the months which was the most busiest for 2023. So year to date sales analysis were done in which we have actually created the financial year. So if it was less than 30th June, it was the financial year 2023, and it was more than 30th June, it was the financial year 2024. And we have also found the relationship between that. That means what were the sales in 2023 and 2024, how busy the days of the week are. So for this, we have added the days of the week over here. So we actually find out that how busy the days were. So we found that Saturday was the most busiest of all. Is there a link between a call duration and satisfaction rating? So we just added one more column, which was the duration, and we use the formula to actually convert the duration into bins. So suppose if it is 128, which is going beyond 120 minutes, so it was taken between that means if it is like it is less than or it was giving like 1 to 2 hours. So if it is 135, it is 1 to 2 hours. If it is 66, it is 1 to 2 hours. If it is 135, it is coming. If it is like oh sorry, this is the duration. Was doing the wrong. Yes. So if it is like coming 116, it is coming out to be having the date. So let us just hide all this column so that we can just focus on the main part. So it was 116, it is coming out to be 1 to 2 hours. If it is 49, it is 30 to 60 minutes. If it is 128, which is beyond 120, it is coming more than 2 hours. If it is 102, again, it is less than 120, right? So it is coming out to be 30 to 60 minutes. And for the satisfaction label, satisfaction amount, we have actually rounded off the value for the satisfaction into this. And then we have found the analysis where we have found that what is the satisfaction level and what is the duration. So for this, we have done the relationship between the between this duration that we had, we put it into bins, and the satisfaction, right? The last query was that should we hire an extra people in a specific month? So for this, we make the analysis between the representative and we do find out that what is the okay, where it is, yes, and the duration, that means the call duration that they had. So for this we actually find out the call duration, and based upon that we find out that there are certain months in which there's a lot more call duration that have been made. For example, in June, so the R04 was very, very busy in June. So in that case, we could provide them with like, or what we can do is that in case if we want, we can also do it for this duration over here. So in this, they can basically give you that what is the relationship between your this. So you can see that for R04, you can see the values over here. For the days, it's changing, right? That is for the duration we had, okay? So we can see over here, right? So this is the days, the date of the call. So we will just do it for the duration. Okay, so this is the duration. So we will just be interested in more about, we can also see other option over here. We can also summarize the value and show the values by the percentage of grand total or by the percentage of running total or by the percentage of row total. So this can also be done. So for the obviously the row total it is giving out to be. So we can say the percentage of the grand total. So based upon this, we can see over here that we can just do the conditional formatting and we can just represent it in the form of the scale this. So the red one are the busiest. So we can say that R02 is most busiest in March and April. And we can say R01 is most busiest in March and April again. R05 is most busiest in March, right? So they can have an extra help and they are very the red one, that means they are the least busy, where they are not busy at all, 3.12 and 3 is percentage. And R01 is most busiest in March, April, and October. So there we can definitely hire a extra person in that specific month. So that was all for this pivot table. And I hope you have understood by these examples. We have used all the concept in the pivot table over here, where we have inserted the pivot table. Then we have grouped the columns according to the dates and according to the duration. We have also used the filter option over here and the slicers, which is the alternative for the filter. We have done the calculation by using average and count and maximum, minimum, and sum. And we have also used here conditional formatting, which make the data more presentable. We have used the value settings to find out the aggregate function. Here we have used the pivot charts, where we have actually created the data into a more presentable form and for better visualization. And here we have also added the column. So in case if you want to find out more insight into a data, we need to add columns into the data by which we can have more clarity on a particular results. So we can work upon the columns that are already there and we can use the formula on the pre-existing column to create the new column. And this was all for the pivot table. So I hope that you have understood what is a pivot table, right? By the examples that we have given to you. And in the next class, we are going to do more examples to make it more understandable. Thank you.